Hey Aquarium, Ryntek, and I have a question for you. What is this? If you said Wii Remote, then you were very much incorrect. This is actually a form baton as introduced in the video game WarioWare Smooth Moves. Oh, and also for anyone who got that wrong, you will be visited. WarioWare Smooth Moves was released on the Wii in North America on January 15th, 2007 and was actually a launch title in Japan. The game was developed by Nintendo and Intelligent Systems, who are known for developing the Fire Emblem and Paper Mario games as well. This game in particular is the 5th entry in the WarioWare series, with Mega Microgames, Mega Party Games, Twisted, and Touched coming before it. The entire purpose of WarioWare is to do rapid-fire minigames, which are known as Microgames in the series, as quickly as you possibly can before time runs out. Every game that I have played in this series has been incredibly fun and addictive, but only one can be my favorite out of the entire series, and it's the one I spent most of my childhood playing. WarioWare Smooth Moves. Smooth Moves is a contender for best WarioWare game of all time. Probably not even just that, best Wii game of all time. Top 5. It's not 2, 3, 4, or 5. There's one very big reason why I think this, and it's because of this thing, the Wiimote. And yes, I know I just sent the people who called it that into the River Twix, but shut up! I did discuss the Wii in my previous video, which came out yesterday, but I was only merely talking about Miis, who by the way, are in this game, and look at them, they're so adorable. I might be biased because I'm obsessed with Miis, but still. I wanted to talk about motion controls, however, which obviously Wii Sports had, considering the fact the Wii series was made for the Wii specifically in order to show its capabilities. In comparison, I sometimes feel as though the Wii was made specifically for WarioWare. There's many different ways that the game utilizes the Wii Remote in the form of forms. There are 19 different forms that you will have to use throughout the game, these forms being the remote control, the umbrella, the handlebar, the sketch artist, the chauffeur, the samurai, the tug of war, the waiter, the elephant, the thumb wrestler, the discard, the big cheese, the janitor, the dumbbell, the mohawk, the finger food, the boxer, the mortar and pestle, and the diner. I feel like even the way they introduced the forms is such a great indicator of this game's creativity and chaos.
The sketch artist. Hold the form baton as you would a pencil during a pop quiz. Delicately but defiantly. Mastery of this move can change a pop quizzee into a pop quizzer.
Like, just imagine making somebody of the Neanderthal variety play Smooth Moves. They would probably kill you and then rip off your head or something cool like that. And speaking of getting your head ripped off, let's talk about the stories there are in Smooth Moves. The stories ain't all mixed up of a very common interface. You'll see the amount of lives you have, which is 4 by default, and you'll see how much microgames you've gone through. Most of the stories have about 15 microgames you have to go through in order to finish them. The microgames get faster and faster as you go through them, forcing you to try and finish them quicker. You do this until you reach a boss stage. Every single story has one at the end. They're all good in their own right, but one of my favorites is the one in Loquacious Spellbook, the one with Ashley in red, where you use discard, and you have to pick up a burger when it's done. I like it so much because it's the most simple, easiest thing, and yet I still feel the same amount of satisfaction when I'm able to do it. Another boss battle I like is the one where you drive, because it's simple and honestly the motion controls work so well with this one. In general, my favorite microgames to play are Smile and Nod, Runner's High, and Wet Your Whistle. My favorite story, however, is actually 9V and 18V, or the multiplayer test, because they're literally me. And on that note, there are 11 main stories, but you also have a 12th one that uses the nunchuck. It's a shame though, because the ones I have right now are third-party ones I got 7 years ago, so I'm not really getting the best results. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I meant the balance stone. You can put the gun down now. I think any single game in which you have to use the nunchucks for motion control is because it's never as good as the actual Wiimote. Every single game in this mode uses a different variation of the diner, which is just the standard formation you usually use when you have the nunchuck and Wiimote. The nunchuck in your left hand and the Wiimote up your right hand. And even besides the stories, there's extra things that you're able to do. One of my favorites was always the colorimeter. I think I said that right, because of the music. It always sounded like I was doing some rocky shit. Meanwhile, I was doing this the entire time. You can watch the different cutscenes that happen in the theater, which is a place I've actually never really used until this video, but if you ever wanted to see a cutscene again, you can. There's several different games that you can unlock that are based off of the microgames that you play. My favorite out of all of these is Can Shooter. And on the note of microgames, you have the Temple of Form, which allows you to individually play microgames that you've unlocked throughout the game. Have you? Yes, you ever wanted to put the team behind Smooth Moves into your hole? Well, now you can, because on Smooth Moves, that's exactly what you could do on the credits. Before you even think of throwing your computer or your cellular device that you're watching this on at the window because you hate this video, you've got to remember, that's not it. We're not done with Smooth Moves. We still have... For multiplayer, you have 7 different games. Some are standalone games and others are collections of microgames. The games you have are Darts, Lifeline, Star Nose, Survival, Balloon, Bomb, and Bungee Buddies. Darts is pretty self-explanatory. You play darts. Bro won this time, so I decided to beat him in the background. You can kinda hear it in the background if you really pay attention. Lifeline is one of the games that acts as a collection for microgames and also technically a standalone game. You play microgames in order to judge position because after that section, you get put into a situation where you have to cut rope and see who goes down first. Again, Adam won this one. So we, as in me and him, decided to amputate his foot. Star Nose is a game that requires usage of the nunchuck. One person grabs the nunchuck and the other one grabs the Wiimote. The goal of the game is to race your friend and see who can meet the conditions to the end first. I say meet the conditions because you don't have to necessarily win a race, you just have to wait until your friend runs into a wall or you get enough of these items in order to accelerate your nose at this painting in order to give this dude a nose. It's WarioWare, I don't know what you guys expected. Survival is pretty much just if you screw up it's over for you, and you're out, which is also the same thing as Bomb. The difference between the two is that you choose what form your friend uses in Bomb. Balloon is a variation of a multiplayer format that had already been seen in WarioWare games at this point. You have to do microgames as fast as possible and strategically pump this balloon so that it pops on one of your friends instead, and they lose. Bungee Buddies is a co-op game where you have to jump and avoid obstacles together, and it takes a lot of coordination. Like Star Nose, one person has the nunchuck and the other one has the Wiimote. This is also the yelling game, as most co-op games are. I think I got really close to killing me, but that's okay, because I cannot die. WarioWare Smooth Moves is, in my opinion, the best game in the entire series. There's something so addicting about it, something that brings me back all the time. It's also an essential part of my childhood, and for that I appreciate it. I just want to say that I'm sorry I've been gone for so long too. It's a lot of procrastination, college, life, and just generally scrapping ideas that have made me gone for so long. It's been so long I feel like I've forgotten how to speak. Wait,